Hola a todos, hola a todas, bienvenidos, bienvenidas. This is Dr. Garcia Fernandez welcoming you to the Spanish Club's free showing of a very recent Spanish movie entitled Love at First Kiss. That's the English title because the Spanish title is simply Eres Tú. All I'm going to do is briefly give you an introduction, give you a little context about this movie. I don't want to be too long because the important thing is for you to sit, relax, and enjoy the movie. Love at First Kiss. This is a 2023 romantic comedy by the Spanish director Alauda Ruiz de Azúa, who was born in the Basque Country but is based in Madrid. She was born in the northern part of Spain but has worked in the capital city of Spain in Madrid for several years now. Ruiz de Azúa is a woman who came to prominence in 2022 when her first full-length film, Cinco Lobitos, translated into English as Lullaby, even though the original title would be something like Five Little Wolves, when that movie, Cinco Lobitos, from 2022, won several awards in Spain, and this brought attention to her as a filmmaker. That movie, translated into English as Lullaby, was an exploration of the challenges of motherhood and a portrait of the difficult relationship between a mother and a daughter. That movie was highly praised by critics, including the famous Spanish director Pedro Almodóvar. But that's not the movie that you're going to watch. The one you're going to watch is Eres Tú, which actually translates as It's You. But the English title, I feel like it's quite clever. Love at First Kiss. It is a lighter, more commercial movie, a romantic comedy with, well, a little bit of a supernatural element, you will see. It premiered worldwide on Netflix in March of 2023, so not too long ago really, and it stars a group of popular young Spanish actors such as Álvaro Cervantes, Silvia Alonso, Gorka Otxoa, and Susana Abaitua. The story of Love at First Kiss is set in Madrid, and it follows Javier, played by Álvaro Cervantes, who is a small-time book publisher who as a teen discovered that he had a strange power. When he gives a girl a first kiss, he can immediately see his future with her, what the future with the relationship is going to be like in the long term. And because the future that he sees is always grim and problematic, he always ends up leaving all his girlfriends, or he avoids starting a relationship with them at all. Well, this is going to change when he meets Lucia, played by Silvia Alonso, one night. They kiss, and Javier sees into the future and realizes that Lucia is the woman of his life because he can see a happy marriage, he can see kids, he can see bliss. The only trouble is that Lucia is the girlfriend of Javier's best friend Roberto, played by Gorka Otxoa. Moreover, things are going to become even more complicated when Javier meets Ariana, played by Susana Abaitua, a woman who is quite different from Lucia. That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay, that's the premise of the movie. I want to keep this introduction short and, most of all, spoiler-free. But as you can probably see from the basics in the plot, this is a light-hearted romantic comedy with plenty of room for comic situations, awkward moments, secrets, misunderstandings, most of them having to do with love relationships and the difficulties of love relationships. However, there are certain topics that the film tackles that are a little bit more serious, and I would like you to think about these topics as you watch the movie. First of all, Javier is a book publisher, so there is a little bit of a parody of the literary world. And there is also the idea that fiction, what writers write, comes from life, springs from life, essentially from the own experience of the writer. There is also in this movie a reflection on friendship, on the idea of friendship. Should we always be honest with our friends, even if we know that what we have to tell them is going to hurt them? That's something to think about as you watch this movie. There's also a reflection on what constitutes happiness, the idea of happiness in a relationship. The element of surprise is important in a relationship to avoid falling into some sort of routine that turns the relationship, or a marriage, for example, into something predictable and boring. So that's something that also is a part of this film. The movie also questions the belief that there may be a better half out there. In Spanish, that is known as la media naranja, a half orange. Who is my half orange? ¿Quién es mi media naranja? Well, the movie questions the belief that there may be a better half, una media naranja, waiting for us out there. Is it a good idea? Is it healthy to obsess over the idea of a better half? That's something that the movie also makes you think about. So, as you watch the movie, think about these topics. Think about the relationships between the different characters. Think about what sets those relationships in motion, what drives them, and to what extent the various characters change throughout the 90-odd minutes of the movie's running time. So that's all for me, for now. This is Dr. Garcia Fernandez saying goodbye and just asking you to sit back, relax, and enjoy Love at First Kiss, Eres Tú, a movie from 2023 from Spain by director Alauda Ruiz de Azúa. And thank you for supporting all the events that the Spanish Club puts together here at the university.